Wewe ndio mwizi.
Sema tu, uone ni mlevi.
Nini imefika hapa?
Nadhani ni venye school fees yako inamsumbua.
Daddy nini umeficha?
Allah.
Nini mbaya?
Daddy.
Nini? Elijah! Wewe!
Nika.
Hakuna mahali imeandikwa mimi ndio nitamaliza umaskini wa familia yenu.
Ile kitu anafanya na Pastor John.
Nyamaza. Nitacheka mimi.
On our Musically Speaking, allow me to get to introduce you to this country music singer from the 254. He does his country music in his dialect, that is Kisii. If you are a lover of engines and everything surrounding that, this is the kind of event that you get to enjoy. This afternoon, we center our discussion on electric vehicle, its affordability to consumers, and to what end does it go a long way in creating employment for young people in as far as its manufacturing is concerned. You're on KBC Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen. Arange Susan Thuku is our sign language interpreter. We begin this live broadcast with the National Police Service now confirming that the death of Kenyan police officers serving under the Kenyan-led multinational security support mission in Haiti. A statement from NPS says the officer died on Sunday at around 2 a.m. Kenyan time in a road accident along the Kenskoff Petition Val, a road in Palerai 9 area. The next of kin has since been notified.
Reports indicate that MSS officers were involved in a fatal road accident during a recovery operation involving 2 Max Pro vehicles during a towing process at around 2 a.m. Kenyan time. The Kenyan officer and 2 civilians died while 8 other MSS officers sustained injuries. 3 of the injured officers are in serious condition and are currently receiving medical care in the hospital. The multinational security support mission, in collaboration with the Haitian National Police, is making arrangements to repatriate the officer's body to Kenya and ensure the injured personnel continue to receive the best possible medical care. With the kin already notified, the service has affirmed its commitment to establishing a lasting peace and security for the people of Haiti. Yusufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
The National Government Constituency Development Fund to counties cautioning that the move could derail grassroots development. The MP speaking in his constituency, George Kariuki, noted that such proposals may overlook the significant impact of the KT, citing that NG-CDF has clear structures and a model that ensures equitable distribution of funds.
Kujaribu kusema ya kwamba hiyo pesa ipelekwe kwa counties, na sisi tunajua vile structures za CDF ziko, vile huwa tunapata approvals za projects, na huwa na ile oversight iko kwa CDF, itakuwa jambo la kurudi nyuma tukisema CDF iondolewe.
A section of imams from the Western region are pushing for changes in the leadership of the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, citing divisions and lack of transparency within the council. Led by Busia branch chairman of the Council of Imams and Preachers of Kenya, Sheikh Ramadan Musa, the imams called for changes of the current trustees of the council, citing mismanagement of the funds that they say undermines the management of council's affairs at the national level. They were speaking during a forum for imams and preachers in Malaba town of Busia County.
Licha ya mambo ya hija ambapo kuna ubadhirifu umefanywa ya hela ambayo imewatia Waislamu ndani ya utata, vile tuna maswala ya zile bursaries zinazotolewa na nchi tofauti za Kiislamu kwa ajili ya wanafunzi wa Kiislamu ambao wanatoka katika jamii maskini waweze kupata kuendeleza masomo yao. Hizi bursaries and scholarships, namna zinavyotumika, namna ambavyo utaratibu wake unavyotumika ni siri kubwa sana.
La kusikitisha zaidi, chairman wa SUPKEM amewaondoa wale matrustee ambao kwamba walikuwa wanasimamia mali ya umma. Amewaondoa na amejiweka yeye mwenyewe.
Police in Narok County have launched investigations into the death of a 14-year-old grade 9 pupil at Narok Adventist Primary and Junior Secondary School. According to a police report, the boy was discovered in his bed by fellow pupils, bleeding heavily from a deep cut on his neck on Saturday night. The pupils immediately alerted the matron, who rushed him to Narok Referral Hospital, where he succumbed while undergoing treatment. Police arrested the school's guard, Julius Swakesi, in connection with the incident. The shocking incident sparked outrage in the surrounding community.
We want to confirm that indeed we have one suspect in our custody and the suspect will be arraigned in court. The matter is still under investigation and we believe that the law will take its course. We also want to ask the members of the public to maintain calm even as the issue is being investigated.
Security haina hii shule kabisa, watoto wanafaa kukua boarding kwa sababu ukiangalia ukitoka hapo kwa gate uangalie compound mzima chizi mazingira iko haifai watoto wetu wadogo wanakaa hii shule. Hakuna lights, hakuna security ya kutosha.
Tunaitiwa asubuhi kwamba mtoto amehaga na hatujui kwa njia amehaga ni yenye ni tatanishi kabisa. Tumefika huko moja kuangalia mtoto amekatwa shingo. Walimu wenyewe ndio wamempeleka mpaka huko moja wamehepa, hatujaelewa chenye kinaendelea.
Chanzo hatujui kama ni uombi ya kanisa inaleta hii shida ama ni uombi ya shule. Kenya tunataka watusaidie, watuambie caretaker uko wapi na matron yako wapi na watchman alikuwa wapi huyu mtoto akiuliwa.
We now turn the crack to Delta House here in Nairobi, where the Council of Governors is currently having a meeting, and I understand that the COG chairperson Ahmed Abdullahi is currently speaking. That is actually Mutahi Kahiga Nyeri, governor, who's speaking. Let's listen in.
Shida na hii procurement, lakini hatutasingiziwa kuitumia kwa sababu haifanyi kazi. Mwisho kabisa tungetaka tuombe serikali kuu iendelee kuheshimu ugatuzi na katiba kuu ambao tumeweza iliyopitishwa na Wakenya. Wakenya walizungumza kupitia kuunda katiba mpya, heri itekelezwe. Juzi tu rais ameweza kutuongoza katika sherehe ya miaka 15 ya kusherekea katiba mpya, lakini sherehe hizo hazitakuwa na maana kama hatutaweza kuzingatia katiba ile ambao tulipitisha. Na basi tuendeleze hivyo, tuseme msimamo wa counties ni kwamba county ni serikali ambazo zina uwezo wa kujiendeleza katika mambo yote. Asanteni.
Very good. Yeah, I'll take a few questions. And before I take questions, I want to remind the national government that counties get about 10% of the budget. So let e-procurement first work for the 90% of the budget. Yeah, questions? Yes, sir.
My name is Peter Ngoro from National Media. My questions are EGP.
So I have two questions on the issue of EGP. So first is just an understanding of what has been happening with matters public procurement in counties, because now we are 2 months down the line into the new financial year. So how have counties been functioning? What are the affected services? And what is the budget size that is attached to procurement issues? That is number one. Number two, Treasury last week had said by today, that is Monday, there will be 31 counties whose budget documents would be on the EGP. Has that happened? And what is the progress on that line?
Now, on the implementation of the budget, you reckon that usually the first 3 months of the year are pretty slow. Not for any other reason, but because of finalization of DORA and CARA, which is the Division of Revenue Act, the one that splits the money vertically between national and counties, and then CARA, the County Allocation of Revenue Act, which splits horizontally. Because those acts also sometimes change the percentage of money that goes to the assembly vis-a-vis the executive. A lot of counties have now finalized their budget and have taken to the controller. And usually the month of September is a catch-up month to try and spend money so that the quota doesn't get wasted. These are inherent challenges in the budgeting process. They are not as a result of the executive, because the executive, even after it suggests and proposes its budget to the county assembly, we still have to wait for national processes to be completed. So that's what's happening now. In Kiambu, we've had in this meeting now, the 123 health facilities are averaging less than 20% in pharmaceutical supplies, and they can't order. In some counties that support farmers with seeds before the rainy season, governors are saying if you don't buy these seeds in the next 2 weeks, we'll have lost our crop for that season. And we've tried to raise these things and say, look here, we have no problem with anything that enhances accountability. Because usually that's the card they usually play. Oh, you are resisting this because you don't want accountability. Accountability is not only for county governments. Accountability is for all of us. Under the guise of accountability, you cannot shove down our throats a system that doesn't work and freeze operations in counties. That's what we are saying. I hope I've answered your question. Yes. Leto.
Yes. Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi is following this press conference live. And I'm seeing he's asking, why did you accept IFMIS and you don't want to...
The question, yeah.
Good question.
Good.
I knew he was going to ask that question. First of all, it's not that IFMIS has no problems. And IFMIS was there for the national government before. This is a system that's been piloted. He cannot do it through threats and intimidation and not solve the issues. Leto, you are a smart man. When a new system is being implemented, there are basics, right? There is a piloting of that system so that you can troubleshoot any problems that you face along the way. There is capacity building and training. There is parallel runs. I'll give you an example. They tried to implement a new system called Human Resource Information System in September of 2024. It couldn't work. And the average county had about 3 weeks of delay in paying salaries at the time. They pulled it back, fixed the software, and they went live on it in December of 2024. If this thing was working seamlessly, we would not even be having this conversation. And by the way, even as we speak in counties today, there is a system called the STEP by the World Bank. It's a procurement system for all World Bank projects. And it is working. And it's an e-procurement system. So this business of him saying that we intend to remove and plug papers out of manual, and procurement files or whatever, Why does everyone want to look good at the expense of counties? Why does everyone want to look like they're working at the expense of counties? And I put a question to Mbadi. You say he's watching this clip, this press conference. The other day at the DPF, I asked him a question. Refer me to one state agency, one department, one ministry, including his, where this thing has been adopted seamlessly and it's working. So that I can send these governors and their procurement officers to go and see how it's been done. It's none. And we talk to these people. We're not operating in two different planets. Probably it's just because they can't talk the way we're talking. It's not working for them as well. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Judy. I work with Arange from KBC. I only have two questions on here. One, the latest release by CS Duale on matters with sister.
Council of Governors Chairperson and Wajir Governor, that is Ahmed Abdullahi, just there addressing on various issues ailing the country, counties, I should say, including the healthcare in the counties. This is in relation to the absorption of UHC staff, which is supposed to begin today, as was directed by the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Aden Duale, as well as the matters on e-procurement, which the President equally spoke to and said that they are not retreating back as a government and that all ministries as well as agencies need to onboard on this e-procurement. It's something that our very own Timothy Kipnusu is currently on, and momentarily he'll be just giving us a detailed report of how this transpired and which other issues that the COG equally addressed. Back to studio, still on that health beat, hundreds of residents in Isiolo have received free medical care during a camp that was organized in honor of the late Mama Alice Kaburu, a well-known trader at Isiolo Market. The camp, which was held at the Catholic Health Center in Kambi Garba, Isiolo County, was organized by several Rotary clubs and community-based health organizations. It was the second medical camp in memory of Mama Alice Kaburu and attracted residents from Kambi Garba and beyond, offering them free consultations, laboratory tests, counseling and medication. The initiative was spearheaded by the Rotary clubs of Isiolo, Gashie and Ongata Rongai in partnership with the Mama Alice Initiative and the Northern Frontier Medical Association. Gashie Rotary Club President Grace Theuri said preventing diseases remains at the heart of Rotary's mission, urging more collaboration to help vulnerable communities. Isiolo Rotary Club President Sabina Lelemoyo assured residents that more medical camps will continue to be organized to expand access to healthcare.
50 patients, and we're expecting by the time we are closing the camp, we'll have seen about 350. We have taken note of the issues of malnutrition. We have taken note of issues with low blood pressure. So we are addressing the issues we are able to address, and the one that we are not able to address, we are giving referrals.
We started very early in the morning. We started around 9 in the morning. We are intending to continue until around 5. We're inviting people who have not come to come. We still have a lot of medication, and our volunteers are committed to serve everybody.
Ile unafurahi zaidi kwa ile kitu unapata ndawa ya bure. Nilikuwa nateseka muda mrefu, lakini leo nafaidika. Nashukuru sana kwa hiyo familia ya Alice. Hakuna malipo popote tunapata. Sio malipo yote kule yanalipishwa.
And now to Integrity Center, where former Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati finally honored the summons by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. And I understand that the former Bungoma Governor is actually there, and he is facing various charges, among them issues to do with corruption-related allegations. Watch.
Why are they not taking him to court? Let them take the former governor to court. And then from there, the legal rights of the governor will start accruing. He will be released by a magistrate. So we are asking, just take the former governor to court. We don't want these games that they usually play in the police cells. So it is important that Kenyans know that they are holding the governor here, and they are not doing anything at all. They have not even served him tea. You can imagine. So it's a very serious issue, and we are really raising concerns. When you fight graft, do it lawfully, respect the rights of all accused persons. And for years, you see, we are telling you, don't be used by politicians to settle political scores. A politician who wants his brother to run for governor ought to go and ask the people for votes. You don't you use EACC to remove competitors. So that is the grievance which we are raising here. And I'm telling you here for sure that when the magistrates eventually hear these charges, which as I said are very flimsy, the former governor will definitely be acquitted. They have nothing against him. Nothing. No shred of evidence. Hata moja hakuna. So thank you very much. We are still waiting. We are standing here. We want to know where they will take him, which police station they are going to take him. Will they still keep him here? The information that we have is that they want to take him to Kamukunji. And you all know Kamukunji is the dirtiest police station in Nairobi. We are pushing back so that they treat the governor with dignity that he deserves as a distinguished Kenyan and citizen of Bungoma. Thank you.
Wakili, are you saying there's no grilling going on?
There is no grilling going on. What happened there? We brought the governor here at 7:50 a.m. And what they did is that they...
Right, that's sentiments just there in relation to the appearance of former Bungoma Governor, that is Wycliffe Wangamati, at the EACC headquarters here in Nairobi, that is the Integrity Center. Remember that the Directorate of Public Prosecution, DPP, had consented to the prosecution of the former governor as well as of Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok. Of course, the investigative bodies still continue conducting the investigations in regards to this matter. And now the government has imposed 7 p.m. and 5 a.m. in Tipis and Mwisho Walami in Njoro. But before that, fish farmers in Sikarira village, Butula constituency, have decried exclusion from Busia County government projects, saying it has denied them a chance to grow their trade and sustain livelihoods. The farmers cite lack of quality fish feeds and alleged neglect by agriculture officers as key challenges. UDA Party Deputy Chair Kelvin Lunani called on national government to reduce the high cost of fish feeds, warning that some farmers resort to feeding fish unsustainable food, which lowers production. He further urged Busia County to deploy agricultural officers to rural farmers to address their pressing needs.
The devolved function. We are appealing to the county government that they should send their officers to come and train these youth, guide them, these old men, waelekezwe, wafundishwe, waelezwe ni vipi wanaweza fuga hizi samaki ili mazao yao iwe ni bora zaidi.
Tuko na fish point na watu wa kutuinua ndio hatuna kabisa. Kuna fish point zingine ziko na hazina samaki. Zingine ziko na samaki zenye hata ukienda kutoa samaki ile ndogo ndogo ukienda kuuza haupati pesa mingi. Kwa vile tukipata mtu wa kusaidia ila tuletea samaki kwa fish point, tutainuka sana.
Over 1,000 residents from Migori County have benefited from a free medical camp courtesy of Migori County government. The medical camp provided free screening services to lifestyle diseases like cancer, tuberculosis, diabetes and HIV, and other treatable diseases, and blood donations. Speaking during the exercise that took place in Nyagot Jobe Village, Kanyasa Ward in Nyatike, Migori County, Director of Public Health and Sanitation Clement Odero revealed that residents of Nyatike, a semi-arid region, have for long been forced to travel as far as Sori to seek healthcare services.
All services that can be offered have been offered here. We are even doing blood donation, there is nutrition, sensitization, there is all services, I can say that. Especially which we are putting up to Dengo. Odengo is here and the next one to CMO Center. So that dispensary, we are going to put it and to make sure that it's operational before the end of this year.
We've done a lot of mobilization. That is why you can see the attendance is very good. And this one also shows you how this community really needs a facility.
I've received several treatments on various diseases,
And we say thank you very much for whoever decided to organize such a thing. They had been having challenges of bad roads and being far from hospitals. And the hospitals that we have does not have enough medicine. Today we have all types of medicine.
Kitui County Director of Education Dr. Halif Isaac is urging parents to be wary of what their children are engaging in during the night vigils known as Kesha prayers. Isaac, who spoke at his office in Kitui County, attributed the rising cases of teen pregnancies and school dropouts to activities done during such events. He further urged local chiefs to ensure no child drops out of school.
Night keshas should not be allowed in Kitui because it's a threat to our children and our performance. Last year, over 19 students delivered, and we had to bring exam to level 5, Kitui, level 4, Mwingi. Those girls had gone through a lot of pain and problems.
The government has been faulted for allegedly neglecting the families of Kenyans living abroad. The Integrated Child Protection Scheme claims that many Kenyans are dying and are being buried abroad without their families' consent.
Serikali ihakikisha kwamba kila mhusika ambaye yuko katika ofisi za ubalozi ajukumike kufanya kazi yake, sio kuzembea kazi, sio kukaa na kupata habari ambazo zinaumisha familia mpaka family wanajua baadaye mtu wao ameaga dunia. Cha kusikitisha ni kwamba the same office ya diaspora ndio iliniambia mbali na Jessica kuna Wakenya wengine 5 wenye ambao walizikwa pamoja na Jessica.
Waziri Musalia Mudavadi aweze kutuambia ni kwa nini masuala kama haya yanafanyika. Ni kwa nini watu ambao wameenda nje ya nchi kupitia njia ambayo ni ya kisawa, ya kisheria, ni kwa nini imefanyika namna hii. Pili, tunataka pia serikali iweze kuja na mpango maalum ambao naibu wa chifu, wazee wa mitaa watakuwa wanaelimisha vijana huko mitaani, kwa sababu wamekuwa wakipiga debe sana kwamba watu waende wakapata ajira kule nje, kwamba nje kuna ajira, wametafutiwa ajira, lakini hakuja kuwa na elimu ya kijamii ili watu waweze kujua kabla waende kule nje ni masuala gani waweze kufanya.
The plight of Kenyans abroad story is what takes us on our first break. We recoil with more, including our conversation on electric vehicles uptake. That's after the break. Stay with us.
This September, Uhuru Park will thunder with revival.
This place that gave birth to a revival to a continent will once again give birth to a revival to a generation.
5 days of worship, word, and breakthrough. Experience word that awakens destiny and presence that transforms lives. Join a nationwide awakening like no other. Come as you are, seeking, believing, expectant.
Rema Feast 2025.
And so here it begins again from the 1st to the 5th of September 2025.
Entry is free.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
Welcome back. The government has imposed a 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. in Tepes and Mwisho wa Lami in Njoro along the Narok-Nakuru highway after a resurgence of ethnic clashes that left 1 person dead and 8 others injured. The violence that broke out also left several houses burned and several families displaced, with survivors saying attackers stormed villages and torching houses, forcing them to flee for safety. Nakuru County Commissioner Layford Kibara confirmed the curfew, adding that officers have been deployed in the area to restore calm and ensure normalcy resumes.
Wakati kulipopambazuka nikaambia alipelekwa kule Egerton, nikaenda huko nikamkuta vile alipopigwa risasi, ubongo ikimwagika huku nyuma. Tukaenda nikaandikiwa barua, nikaambiwa siku ya kesho niamkie niende kwa police station MOU.
Lakini sisi hapa tunaomba amani ipatikane. Sasa hii watu wengi wanaangamika sana, hawana chakula, hawana makao. Sasa tunaomba amani.
Tukubaliane saa moja kila mtu aende nyumbani. Kuta ngali tunafungia. Pikipiki hizo endeni, lakini hii kuzurura hapa.
And our section of lawmakers from Kenya Moja movement is demanding the resignation of Health CS Aden Duale over alleged corruption at the Social Health Authority. The leaders have vowed to push an impeachment motion to ensure he is out of office if he does not quit from Afya House. The leaders want the government to walk the talk in its campaign against graft.
Wakati unaleta kizungumkuti cha SHA, watoto 156 in Kenya in every hour can die. When you are playing around with the SHA system, when you are playing around with grammar, kutuadikia kule kwa mitandao, when you are throwing answers right, left and center, Duale, I want to remind you, as you play with your games, 156 children are being born every hour and can die.
You cannot destroy the health of a nation. Indio uhai wa kila mtu. Hata unaweza iba mabilioni, ukose kujenga barabara, ukose kujenga mashule, lakini kuiba pesa za wagonjwa.
Sisi kwenye Senate hatuna nguvu ya kutimua waziri, lakini tunataka kuwashinikiza nyinyi ambao mko kwa National Assembly. Najua signatures ziko tayari. Huyu Duale, wakati mnatoka recess, muhakikishe mswada umeletwa, kwa sababu he must take political responsibility ya wizi ya pesa ya wananchi ambayo inafanyika pale kwenye SHA.
Now, in respect to the same, at 2 p.m., the Cabinet Secretary for Health, that is Aden Duale, will be officially handing over files, of these fraudulent files, to Mohammed Ibrahim Amin, that is the DCI, as well as Douglas Kanja, the Inspector General of Police. That will be happening at Afya House, 2 p.m. today. And now, for years, residents of Saimosoi in Baringo North, Baringo County, bore the brunt of relentless banditry, displacement of families and their livelihood stolen from them. Yet, amid the scars of violence, 39 students who are set to join the university chose to cover their painful and sad memories and tell their story of resilience while choosing to rebuild their lives through education. This story and others in our county news roundup.
At Moinonin in Baringo South, Baringo County, residents and leaders gathered for a fundraising drive to support the tens of students who have overcome the scars of banditry to pursue their education, as they are now set to join different universities in the country.
Majangili waliweza kufurusha watu kwao, wakaua wananchi, wakabeba mali yao, wakaangamiza. Fituko yote ndio ilifanyika katika sehemu hii, lakini kwa mapenzi ya Mungu leo tuko hapa kuchangia watoto ambaye wamejiunga na vyuo vikuu ya taifa ya Kenya.
This comes as Ikolomani Member of Parliament Bernard Shinali opposed the scrapping of the Constituency Development Fund on the basis that some leaders are misusing the said funds, calling on the Commission's mandate to oversee the fund to take action against those who misuse CDF and held accountable through legal action.
Mimi ule anasema ya kwamba CDF iondolewe irudi kwa county ni kama kusema kunja county, kunja CDF, rudisha national government ndio wanajua kutunza pesa. Kwa sababu saa hii ukivunja CDF, next ya kuvunja ni nini? Sini county ndio pesa irudi yote national. We resist that. Tunasema ya kwamba tunataka hiyo pesa ikuje paka kwa ward.
And the State Department for Vocational and Technical Training, in partnership with the Signet Institute of Australia, has launched a global career program at KBC National Polytechnic, targeting Kenyans aspiring to explore career pathways abroad.
To help infrastructure building projects globally, what we're offering from the Signet Institute is students to engage in courses that are globally recognised to take advantage of those different opportunities, whether they be within Kenya, working with multinational organisations, or whether they be working abroad with organisations who recognise the Signet Institute qualifications and the international recognition that they bring with them.
Elsewhere, the government has rolled out the Integrated Financial Management Information System Asset and Inventory Module to counties as part of a nationwide push to digitize public assets and tighten accountability in resource management.
Digitalization of assets management is not merely a technical upgrade. It is a fundamental shift towards greater accuracy, enhanced safeguarding of public resources, and uniform reporting standards across the public sector. It is the cornerstone of prudential public finance management.
Meanwhile, leaders of Ripples International, a child rights organization that protects and promotes the respect for the right of children through community-focused initiatives, has urged Kenyans to embrace alternative justice system to reduce the backlog of cases in the courts.
These centers have been of great help to the marginalized community members in that they have provided an easy entry point for marginalized communities to access justice.
Finally, Kiambu County Government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Yiwu City, Zhejiang Province in the People's Republic of China, for cooperation in economy and trade, logistics, e-commerce, education, tourism, culture, science and technology, and agriculture. The MOU will explore the County Aggregated Industrial Park, a 500 million shillings facility by the county and national government to aggregate, value addition and market for agricultural produce and open industries within the already gazetted economic processing zone in the upcoming Thika Industrial Smart City by Yiwu manufacturers.
Time for our conversation right now, and we center on discussion on electric vehicles uptake, deepening EV uptake. My guest is already here. That is Tadase Teseme, who's the Chief Executive Officer, TAD Motors. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. Now, let's just broach this discussion by a clear understanding on why you chose Kenya, because I understand that you got the approval in November 2023 to establish and manage operations at the Naivasha Special Economic Zone. So what was this peculiar about Kenya that you saw it as a key hub for your operations?
Yeah, again, thank you very much. You know, when I came in August 2023, I was looking somewhere to allocate and start this business. So I came here, and unfortunately I met people from SEZA, which are extremely helpful, and they gave me the opportunity to get the land, and the permission was going very fast. And also the possibilities of incentives which are going to use when we are manufacturing that, it makes it much easier to set up here.
It's a bit easier to set up in Kenya.
Sure.
It's affordable,
because the business atmosphere is now also very much promising, and as you see, a lot of FDI is coming back now to Kenya. So I think it's a good opportunity to be here in Kenya. It's very stable.
All right, so since then till now, how would you say it has been doing this?
Yes, since then we have got the land in Naivasha, especially economic zone, and then we start developing the whole system. Unfortunately, it takes some time before we set up everything, and so we are working on that. And also find out, what kind of, the whole idea is to set up here a manufacturing plant where it's actually a manufacturing plant. We start with some assembling and then we go to manufacturing. So choosing the right components, the right things, it took some time. And now we are here just finishing the perimeter, setting up the factory. And we will launch on 31st October, the first 5 cars assembled in Kenya.
1st October of this year.
31st, yeah.
So you're here to set up that manufacturing?
Yeah, we'll launch 5 cars, the first 5 cars assembled in Kenya.
So as you're operating there, how would you say this is creating employment, especially for the young people?
Yeah, sure. The whole business is focusing on maximum use of the youth. As you know, car manufacturing companies are using a lot of robots and machineries, but we don't use that, and we use manpower. The reason for that is also because, first of all, relatively good, well-trained youth here coming up from universities. Secondly, that the volume of cars we're producing is not so much so that we need to invest in machineries. So instead, we invest in people so that we use manpower to assemble the car. So we intend within 1.5 year, about 1,500 people.
So you're talking about 1,500 youths.
Yes.
Are they already?
No, we'll train them.
This is a projection.
Yes, we'll train them. We'll train them, and depending on the demand, of course, demand of the market, we'll train them, and then so from the training they can join the company.
So how does that idea look like? Get the youths, train them, and then now they can.
We will have job training. Okay. So those people are coming from school, from the universities. We will have job training. It means that they can see how the job is going well, and for that, so they can join the company as full employees.
All right. So then, with this electric vehicles, are you, now that you're sort of like beginning this, are you partnering with government, say national government or county government, when it comes to the rolling out of charging points? Because sometimes it may pose a bit of a challenge for EVs.
Yeah, actually, we don't have real. We have contact with CESA, which is helping us very much. Besides that, our cars don't need infrastructure for charging, which is one of the main problems for EVs on the market.
So how does that work?
We have the charger on board. You have 2 ways of charging, on board and off board. Off board means you have to go somewhere and charge it, but we have the charger on board. So it means that you need a cable, so you plug in somewhere and charge it.
So where is this somewhere? Paint for us a picture, at least for the consumers of this, to better understand, because what you have in the market is that there is to be this charging points, charging area. So really, just paint for us a picture with a clear understanding. Okay. How is this?
Okay. One of the main problems for EVs is charging.
Yes.
That's everywhere when it goes charging.
Yeah.
Why is charging? Because most EVs have high power. It means you have to drive, the power, the batteries are on board. They have a range of 400, 500, 600 kilometers, which means you need more power. For that, you need infrastructure for that. But we have made here research to see what is actually what you need to drive EVs. So we came out, what our target was first to look out through Ubers and Bolts, just figure out how many kilometers they're driving daily, with a maximum range of 150 and something 150 and 200 kilometers. So it means that we can put the battery lower, which enables us also that we can make the car affordable to the consumer. At the same time, because the power is lower, so we can use normal charger on board. That's the whole idea. So we don't have to put more batteries so that you can drive 400 or 500 kilometers, because it's not necessary at all. In normal use, 85-90% of people use average daily is about between 50 and 150 kilometers. So we think that's enough.
So how is this affordable to the consumer?
Yeah, because we choose to minimize the range, 250 kilometers, we manage, and also because of incentives we are getting here. And now we are starting with assembling, but gradually we go to manufacturing. We go within 1.5 years, we'll have here designed and manufactured car here. With that, now intending we will come up with a price something between 1.3, 1.5. This is in the range of these used cars are exported now from abroad. So we are competing with them. Because there is, why is it, what is a real issue is Kenya and neighboring countries have right-hand drive cars. And this, at the low level of the the community, the big companies are not interested to manufacture these cars because the volume is too small and the margin is too small. So that is a niche market which nobody's looking at. So we jump in because for us, because we use manpower, the market is enough for us. So we come up with 1.3, 1.5. If you see the current market, business EVs in the market, they are above 4.5 and 7 million.
So yes, is reduced.
Yeah.
But still one would say there's, with the majority of these EVs, there's that high upfront cost. Yes, you're talking about the market price being at 4.5, but yours it's at 1.5. Someone would still think it's quite high. What are you doing to sort of like, is it incentivize or just enable consumers to be able to, consumers of this product?
Sure.
Yeah.
So what we intend to do is that we'll try to arrange financing. So with a minimum down payment of the consumer, the kind of financing, so that we focus mainly at the beginning for those people who are Uber and Bolt drivers. And those people, so they can generate more income from it because now daily, because of high fuel cost, their daily income is very low. So we focus on them, and the women who were also driving Ubers, and most of them, they rent a car. It costs them about 1,500 shilling per day. Fuel costs about 3,000. It's about 4,500 shilling. But we think that all these costs we can minimize to between 2,000 to 2,500. Still they have 2,000 shilling per day extra income per day. So that's where we are focusing on.
So you're saying there's also other ways in which you can actually acquire this, the EV vehicles. All right. How would you say the market is like? Are people being receptive, especially the African market and the Kenyan market, if you can go that direction? Are they being receptive towards EVs? How is it? I
think there is a kind of misunderstanding, thinking people are that EVs are, high maintenance, but contrary. The most easiest, simple way is EV maintenance for vehicles is because there are not a lot of components. You don't have to take out the engine and maintain it, or there are no maintenance, no oil, no so maintenance cost is very low. So if you think about maintenance, it's I think best solution to have EVs. So that awareness we try to get to people. And so with that, I think, and also because we are focusing affordability, that is the most important thing which we are doing. So access to cars, access to people with lower income can access these cars to own them.
And now as you draw this discussion to a close, Tedase, Kenya being the country that you choose for these operations compared to its other regional partners, how is that adaptability looking like, and how is it setting Kenya at the map when it comes to the uptake, adaptability of electric vehicles?
Kenya, one of the main things is that is quite stable. What's the most important thing you have? And also if you think about forex exchange, quite stable. So these are the main things when anybody coming is going to look, So, and that makes it. And with a project, with our cars are coming a reasonable, affordable price, I think it will not be because we want people with very low income can own the car. So that pushes them. We are not focusing at high level because those people who can afford 5-6 million are not our main targets, but people are lower end.
Your target is not the 5-6 million.
No.
It's actually the 1.5.
Yes.
So or below.
Sure.
So Kenya becomes that avenue for that.
Yeah, and we intend also not only for Kenya, but we are intending also to export. By the way, the car is the brand couldn't be touched. This first link my name. The reason what I'm doing is because I want to be able to export to neighboring countries. When you have any partners from any big companies, they will not allow you to export. So I think one day I hope Kenya will be independent, making their own.
And allow for that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Tedase Teseme, for that. At least just get a clear understanding of electric, because sometimes there's a lot of misconceptions surrounding EV and even why it's important. Why should we just use whatever we're used to? But you demystify, I think, or two.
Also, what I mentioned is, even if you think about environment, emission, and not only that, even imagine all our fuel is coming from abroad, import. So if you do electric, we are saving also for the government money.
And environment as well?
Yes, of course.
All right.
That's also now one of the highest priority what I see from the government in our area. So it creates a win-win situation for everybody who's involved in this venture.
So it becomes more than just a vehicle.
Yeah, because we have also foreign currency for the land. You know, one of the main problem, African countries have foreign currency. So if you save a little bit, it might help out the country.
Okay, thank you again. Tadase Teseme, Chief Executive Officer, TAD Motors, has been our guest, and he's just been talking to us about the electric vehicle uptake and how to better deepen that. Just listening to him, some of the gains that also this goes a long way, not just for you as an individual, but as well as for us as a country. Now we continue with the day's stories, and now to some business news. And shares of Chinese electric vehicle maker BYD slipped by as much as 8% on Monday after it reported a 30% drop in profit because of a price war in China's car sector. BYD says increased price competition among China's electric vehicle brands had impacted the industry. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the globe. BYD is facing an increasingly crowded market, competing against local rivals NIO and XPeng and US car maker Tesla, which have all slashed prices of electric vehicles to draw buyers. Electric vehicle car makers have subsidized car dealers and offered zero-interest loans to buyers as the industry becomes increasingly cutthroat. This has prompted warnings from Beijing, which urged automakers to stop the aggressive discounts in order to protect the economy. Average car prices in China have fallen by around 19% over the past 2 years, currently standing at around $23,100 according to industry estimates. Meanwhile, the Noor Energy 1 project in Dubai has generated about 6.7 billion kilowatts of electricity, reducing carbon dioxide emissions by about 3 million tons. The project combines concentrated solar power and photovoltaic technologies and features a 263-meter central tower surrounded by 70,000 heliostats that reflect and concentrate sunlight toward the receiver, creating a dazzling spectacle of beams across the desert. Spanning an area equivalent to over 6,000 standard soccer fields, the solar park uses more than 6,000 parabolic trough collectors that track the sun like silver sunflowers, continuously converting solar energy into clean power for households across Dubai. Finally, crude oil prices are trading in a tight range as worries about rising output and the impact of U.S. tariffs on demand offset supply disruptions stemming from intensified Russia-Ukraine airstrikes. Brent crude fell 0.44% to $67.18 a barrel this morning, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $63.73 a barrel, also down 0.44%. Ukrainian president vowed on Sunday to retaliate by ordering more strikes deep inside Russia after Russian drone attacks on power facilities in northern and southern Ukraine. Markets remained concerned about Russian oil flows, with weekly shipments from its ports dropping to a 4-week low of 2.72 million barrels per day. Sports and Athletics Kenya has expressed confidence with the team currently in residential training camp ahead of the 20th World Athletics Championship set for Tokyo, Japan between 13th and 21st of this month. The team, which has been in camp since mid last month with sprinters training in Nairobi, while the rest of the athletes in Eldoret, features 2 defending champions, Faith Kipyegon and Mary Mora.
The Kenya national athletics team will aim to reclaim its glory in its signature 3,000-meter steeplechase race for both men and women at the Tokyo World Championship this month. The country will also be represented in the 100-meter mixed relays, the team which punched its ticket at the World Relays this year.
The team that we have is very young, and they are picking up now from the others who have done so well before in steeplechase. I always tell the Kenyans to be patient with our young team. We don't want to put them under huge pressure. We want to prepare them for 2027 and the Olympics, so that now, as they participate during the World Championship, it is part of their preparation now and learning experience. So we don't push them to the wall, but we tell them to try their best to make sure that they make it to the final and now go for whatever they can.
6 meters, goes clear. Hassan running for a minor medal here.
The first batch of the Kenyan athletes is scheduled to depart for Tokyo early next week. This year's Global Championship will see over 2,000 athletes from 200 countries competing in 49 medal events.
I said before the race, how do you defeat Faith Kipyegon? Well, that question is still writ large up in the sky above this gorgeous stadium in Budapest, because she has retained her title 3 times a world champion now.
At the same time, Kenya will place its bid to host the 2029 World Athletics Championships after losing this year's edition to Tokyo.
When we beat the last time for World Championship that is taking place in this year, 2025, we missed it by a whisker simply because the stadiums were not ready. Now, the tempo that is being taken to improve our stadiums, especially Kasarani, is almost been fulfilled. And I'm sure that immediately after Chan is concluded, the promise from the government is to install the tartan track, which is just remaining on that one. Then thereafter, now our president will invite the World Athletes to come and do the inspection on the stadiums, because infrastructure is there, the hotels are there, and all the other requirements are being met.
Athletics Kenya and the Kenyan government have placed a strong bid which will be presented this month in Tokyo.
World Athletics is looking forward to a country in Africa to host World Championship. It will be a tribute to those nations that have produced world pillars, like Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Tanzania, South Africa, Nigeria, Morocco, to have something also that we as Africans can do it, instead of always going to Europe or Americas or Asia.
Kenya has already successfully hosted the World Under-18 Championship in 2017 and the World Under-20 Global Event in 2021.
Barcelona missed a chance to top the Spanish La Liga standings after they were held to a 1-1 draw by Rayo Vallecano at Estadio de Vallecas. Elsewhere, Udinese came from behind to beat Inter Milan 2-1 at the San Siro in the Italian Serie A, while Crystal Palace edged out Aston Villa 3-0 to maintain their unbeaten start to the English Premier League season.
Barcelona got the lead after Lamine Yamal converted from the spot before substitute Fran Perez scored the equalizer in the 67th minute. Meanwhile, Udinese came from behind to beat Inter Milan 2-1 at the San Siro, as Denzel Dumfries gave Inter Milan the lead before Udinese equalized through a penalty. A spirited performance from Udinese paid off when Arthur Atta gave his side the lead just before half-time.
Keenan Davis! Still with Atta! Atta's first Serie A.
Jean-Philippe Mateta, Marc Guehi and Ismail Assar ensured Crystal Palace left Villa Park with all 3 points after thrashing Aston Villa 3-0.
Away, not too far though. It's going to be a chance here.
Sean Muya for Lunchtime News.
Lerma with a throw. It's been flicked on.
Sit ground for the next program. That's all the time we had for you. We appreciate you for your valid company. This has been KBC Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen. Arange Susan Thuku has been our sign language interpreter. Good afternoon.
Their music so sweet. I repeat.
Wagwan, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth way the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
Napenda life, napenda dema na jidai, ateme vibe.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa.